Unless you're a longtime friend of mine or you went to high school with me, you probably didn't know that I grew up skateboarding. I would just skate every single day with my friends, filming videos, and being constantly surrounded by music. I used to get these CCS catalogs in the mail, skate catalogs. They're just full of different t-shirt designs, skate decks, and if you're at all familiar with these or if you used to get these at some point, then you probably feel pretty nostalgic flipping through them. And I remember, being so young, I couldn't afford anything in this, so I would just circle all of my dream things, like a complete skateboard, my favorite t-shirts and things, until one day my mom finally caved and bought me my first skateboard, the Striped Zero deck. I use that board every single day just to push around and to practice. It probably lasted me a couple of years, but with most skateboards after using for so long, they eventually snap. So although I couldn't afford anything out of this catalog, being in high school without a job, I would just get these catalogs and obsess over all of the designs of the t-shirts, of the decks. And that got me wondering, someone gets to design this stuff. Just looking over these catalogs every single month, just all the time obsessing over these graphics, I just kept wondering, whose job was it to design this? This stuff comes from somewhere, from someone, some designer, and that really fascinated me. So looking back, that is probably the root of what piqued my interest in design. And it's funny to think about that after all of these years, I myself have stumbled into making a living designing t-shirts. To this day, all of the projects I get to work on, I get to obsess over, and I feel incredibly lucky that I've found something that I really enjoy doing. And it's just funny that how my interest in design started with t-shirts, and that's kind of what I ended up obsessing over in the end. So it's funny how maybe if you're struggling with figuring out what you want to spend your time doing or what you want to focus on and specialize in, that like looking at your past, seeing what you absolutely loved at a younger age, maybe going back to that or thinking how you could incorporate that into your design career now. So as you can see, skateboarding played a major part on why I am where I am. And I do hop on my board every once in a while nowadays, just to cruise around or practice old flip tricks on the carpet, but I'm not on it consistently at all. I'm dying to get back into skateboarding and using it as a creative outlet in a physical way. And being a designer that works from home, it's just a great way to get me out of the house and be more active. Not to mention, like, nothing could beat the feeling of just being able to push on a skateboard. Like, just cruising around on this thing, and even if that's all you learn, it's totally worth it. This is my current board setup. It's about 10 years old, which is absolutely crazy. It's burnt toast. I mean, like, the tail is all chipped and the bearings are just like all worn to hell. Like most things, when you want to do something new, like if you were to run, you would invest in that activity to help motivate you. Like you get running shoes, new headphones. My wife is completely obsessed with Disney themed running tank tops. So I went all in and bought a completely new setup. So this is a new complete setup that I got in the mail. And I know not a lot of you care about skateboarding or know anything about it, but I just want to briefly go over what I got if you are interested and set this up. So here is the deck I got. It's a Shane O'Neill optical graphic. So you can see it kind of faintly says O'Neill on it. And I prefer like kind of simplistic graphics, stuff that's more type-based. And this one is red, which is like that kind of hint of blue, which I love. It's a 7.8. That's typically what I ride. Good for flip tricks, but still big enough to really have your feet if you're going through any vert or anything like that. This is a really cool box, by the way. Like you flip this up and it's got extra stuff in here. Ricta wheels, again, I like the simplistic graphic. If I had something crazy, I'd probably just flip them inside out so it wasn't super distracting while skating. Then I just got some basic raw Thunder trucks. Can't really go wrong with trucks really. I've used Thunders before and they just never let me down, so that's why I went with these. Again, sticking with the simplistic design, nothing crazy and bold, something that will go with any new decks that I may get in the future. New bearings, just something simple. Again, can't really go wrong with mini bearings. These are just bone reds. I've got hardware, but I also ordered the special hardware that has the red tips, just so I can stick it on the nose of the board here, so that when I throw it down to skate, I know what's the nose and tail. And also, of course, just some simple mob grip tape. Now it's time to set this up. Gotta make sure there's no air bubbles. Still pretty rusty at cutting grip tape. This is definitely the worst part. And it's done. Pretty rusty on cutting grip tape, and I forgot how much it sucked to put on new trucks. But it's complete, so the only thing left to do is to go skateboarding. Man, I miss skateboarding, but am I rusty? I think a lot of stuff I need to work on is just getting comfortable again on the board fully, mostly on the vert stuff, and then just practicing again all the flat ground things. I mean, I guess to ollie, do some 180s and basic shove-its. Nothing impressive, but it's all about that daily progression. All right, time to go home. I'm home. I have a lot of client work to start and knock out, but that was a lot of fun. I haven't gotten on a skateboard like that, like full on skated in years, so it felt great. And this is gonna be something that I'm going to probably stick to at least on a weekly basis. And I'd be interested to know, looking back, what do you think sparked your interest in design? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see my next video. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to work.